The Girl Who Spoke to Shadows. In the forgotten village of Bramble Hollow, sunlight never stayed long. It slipped behind the hills by noon, and the streets turned silver with mist. The villagers whispered about the shadows that moved when no one did, and how, if you listened closely, they whispered back. Among the villagers lived a quiet girl named Lira, who could hear things others couldn't. The sigh of old doors, the hum of cobblestones, and the murmurs of the shadows. She never feared them. In fact, they told her stories about the world before light, about kings who ruled by moonshine, and forests that sang. One evening, when the last bell rang and the village fell asleep, the shadows whispered urgently, "He's coming." Lira peered out her window and saw a man in a silver coat walking down the foggy road, tall, pale, and carrying a lantern that didn't glow. Wherever he passed, warmth fled. The next morning, everyone's reflection vanished from their mirrors. The villagers panicked, believing the lantern man had stolen their souls. Only Lira had an idea where he went. Guided by the whispers, she followed the path into the woods, where the trees bent backward and the ground pulsed softly like a sleeping heart. There, in a clearing of black glass, stood the lantern man. Inside his dim lantern, 100 reflections flickered like trapped stars. Lira asked, "Why did you take them?" The man's eyes were as hollow as wells. "People forgot their shadows," he said. "They feared what followed them." "I only keep what's abandoned." Lira felt her own shadow tug at her feet, loyal, trembling. She realized the villagers had turned from their fears so long that they lost a piece of themselves. So she did something no one ever dared. She stepped into her shadow. It wrapped around her like smoke, and when she spoke again, her voice carried the hush of night. "Then I'll remind them," she said. The lantern man bowed and vanished into the mist, leaving the lantern behind. Lira carried it home. By morning, every mirror shone again, and though the villagers never saw her shadow the same way, they learned to greet it kindly. From that day, Bramble Hollow stayed dim but never dark, for wherever there was fear, Lira's lantern glowed.